Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rina from Group 5. My partner is Fanny, and it's my great honor to stand here to talk about our teaching plan, English pronunciation, the consonant sound L. Why do we choose this topic? Because we find that a high-frequency mistake discovered in the passage to the boy who cried wolf of corpus. And among all the size of recordings, 26 participants substitute the consonant L with other sounds, and 56 participants omit the consonant L. So we choose one participant, Hong Kong student 5, and we find that she made mistakes of the consonant L, including both substitution and omission. So we adopt a method, test, teach, test. First, we get students to peer check by reading the passage and reflect on their own pronunciation. And then, through a video and teacher's explanation in a learner-friendly way, students learn how to pronounce the light L and dark L correctly. And finally, some exercises were provided for them to consolidate their learning. So we integrate 4 skills in our lesson, and the different patterns of interaction were applied in our lesson. Our target students are Junior 1 students. They have learned LPA in primary school. The corpus we use is spoken English corpus of Chinese and non-Chinese learners in Hong Kong, established by Dr. Rebecca and her team members in Education University of Hong Kong. And the class lasts 19 minutes. We use PowerPoint, envelope with cards, worksheets, 2 videos. They are The Boy Who Cried Wolf and The 3 Little Pigs. After the lesson, the students will be able to first demonstrate awareness of their omission and mispronunciation of consonant sound L, and the second, pronounce the consonant sound L correctly. Third, retell the 2 stories and make comparison between them. And last, learn the moral lesson behind the 2 stories because they have the same topic. And so here is our teaching procedures. We have 6 stages, and the first is warm up. You can see there's 5 steps, and we will later talk about them in detail. And the second stage is a listening activity, and the third stage is hands-on corpus search, and the 4th stage is test, teach, test. And the 5th stage is practice and production. The last stage is homework. Okay, now let's see them in detail. The first stage is warm up. We want to arouse students' interest in short stories and set a context for the whole class. First, the teacher will list a list of names of stories on PowerPoint, like 5 stories. You can see on the on the screen. And then students write down a list of the names of 5 short stories on a piece of paper within 30 seconds. And then students work in pairs to interview each other by asking and answering the questions and take turns. They will say, number 1, have you ever read blah blah? And then the other one said yes or no. And at last, the teacher presents the cover of some more stories about a wolf on the PowerPoint. Like these 4 stories you can see on the screen. The teacher leads students to listen to one of the stories, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, because there are 4 stories all about the wolf. And let's come into the next stage, listening activity. We want to train students' listening skills and check their comprehension. Based on the passage, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and introduce the topic and language focus, and check whether students can spot the mispronunciation of others and categorize their mistakes. And then to raise students' awareness of the correct pronunciation of consonant L, first Before listening, the teacher gets students to predict according to the picture and the title. We ask the students to make the prediction and then to write down students' answers on the whiteboard for later checking. And then they need to listen for the first time. They need to listen to the correct one, UK sample. With this link. You can click this link and listen to the correct sample. And then they need to check their prediction by answering the 4 questions we list for them step by step. And after this, they listen to the story. They need to fill in the blanks of the picture. You can see all of the blanks are about the words with L. Yeah, here is the answer of the picture. And after that, they need to do the error detection. They need to listen to another recording from the Hong Kong 5, and she speaks the mispronunciation of the letter L, and the students need to circle the words with L. And after that, the teacher can check the answers with the students, and the students need to categorize the mispronunciation of the words into 2 types. The first is the wrong pronunciation, and the second type is omission of the letter L. After that, they need to do the hands-on corpus search. You can see that we introduce the corpus website to the students and teach them how to search the target word. We want to raise their awareness of the frequency of the mistakes and guide students to reflect on their own pronunciation of consonant L. Let's do the search. First, you can see the instruction on the screen. And the teacher can do the demonstration and the students follow the teacher. And after that, they need to summarize. Students need to summarize how many students substitute the consonant L with the other sounds, and how many students omit the consonant L. And let's come into the 4th stage, teach test. We want students to do the peer check their own pronunciation, because in the last stage they find the mispronunciation or the omission of the word letter L from Hong Kong 5, but students need to identify their own mistakes, and we want to teach students how to pronounce the light L and the dark L with a video. Let's see. This is a checklist table for students, and the students need to read the passage in a pair, and they need to exchange. Well, after they do the fill in the table, they need to answer the following questions. 3 questions, like which words do you find the most difficult to pronounce, and can you categorize the above words? How to pronounce the consonant sound L. So after the teacher's guidance, the teacher realized that, oh, I made mistakes of the consonant L, so how to pronounce the consonant letter L correctly? So the teacher can, at this time, the teacher can broadcast a video, how to pronounce the letter L. We can watch the video a little bit.
Today we're looking at the difference between the light L and the dark L. Alright, it's not the evil L, it's just the dark L. Honestly. English to the next level and achieve your luck. Look. Now how do we make this sound? Well, the tongue is the most important thing. So place through the vibration in examples of words with the language, or a consonant, or as the final sound of a word. For example, help.
We don't need to play all the video from the beginning to the last. We just play at the last 4 minutes. And after that, they need to fill in the table about according to the video. You can see they need to identify the 2 categories of the letter L. And then students need to do the minimal pairs. The practice including how to pronounce the light L like this, minimal pair, no, low. And they need to read in pairs and exchange. And after that, the students need to listen to the recording and tick the right one. Okay, this is a mispronunciation about the L and N. And after that, they need to identify the L and the R, like wrong. Okay, this is clear L practice exercise. And after that, they need to do the dark L exercise about to read the passage. This is a pair work. They need to act out the dialogue. Okay, in the next stage, they need to practice. We have another song about the sound letter L. We can see it.
I believe it's important to choose 男星最能夠講出一個人嘅故事。
ABC
Three little pigs went out one day. One built a house made out of hay. The other pigs thought it would fall, but the first didn't care at all. Three little pigs went out one day. The second used sticks to build a.
Well, this is a song about a wolf and 3 little pigs. You can see in the script there are many words with L, yeah, including the light L and the dark L. And after they listen, after they listen to the song, they need to do a game about the story. It's a matching and sequencing game. We provide an envelope with 12 cards, including 6 cards about the pictures, 6 cards of the sentences, you can see. But there are 2 unrelated pictures and sentences cards. Students work in pairs in groups of 3. Each group gets an envelope with 12 cards in it, and make sure they do not watch each other's cards. And they need to match the 6 pictures with 6 sentences and then put them in the correct order. This is instruction. And the students only to describe the cards. Okay, next step is the retell activity. We provide some scaffolding for students to retell the story, and with there are some words with letter L, and there is the first sentence we provide for them to begin the story, like, okay, I'll tell you the story of the 3 little pigs, and then they can retell with each other. After this activity, they need to compare and contrast the 2 stories, the boy who cried the wolf and the 3 little pigs. They need to consider the 5 aspects that they are the character setting, plot ending, and moral lesson. It's a group work, and we want to develop students' high order thinking. You can see this is the answer. And here comes the last part, homework. Students, when students go home, they need to retell their favorite story to their parents. They can retell the story, the boy who cried the wolf or 3 little pigs. And the students need to record their speech. in a video format, and make sure the video can show their mouths clearly, and send the video to the teachers. And then students can enjoy the blues version of the song Three Little Pigs. Yeah, blues version.
Once upon a time, there were three little pigs. One day they were old enough to each have a house of their own. But their mother warned them to build their houses strong, so they would be safe from the big, bad wolf. Now the first little pig was lazy, so when he built his house, this is what happened. The first little pig built his house of straw.
Yeah,
He ran inside when the wolf he saw.
So,
Little pig,
nice. So this is our worksheet during the lesson. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Can I open to the floor? Any comments for this? Any comments? Do you like this lesson? Okay. Okay. I think that so far, I think this I can see more integration of corpus in this lesson plan. I think this is quite complete, and especially I like you to integrate not only for the boy who cried wolf and some other stories into this lesson plan and do some comparison. I think that's, and I can see very complete lesson plan start from warm up to motivate students to think. First of all, yeah, I want to take a look at the 4 storybook you recommended. So in this warm up, I think it's quite long lesson plan. Do you think you can make it into lesson, in double lesson?
Maybe we need 3 lessons.
Yeah, I think to make it more feasible, I think you should split into 3 lessons. I think it'll be too long, but I think it's very good idea. The whole thing is very complete. So I don't want you to delete anything, but you need to separate into 3 lessons. Okay. So first of all, what's the purpose for pointing out these 4 storybook? You just want to draw ask students to see all this related to wolf.
Yes.
Is it the one you?
Because we want to activate to come up with the topic, the boy who cried wolf. Yeah, and the 4 stories all about the wolf, and there are some words with the letter L, like.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, in your explanation, I realized that these 4, there are the same theme for these 4 storybook. But I think you need to, after you present these 4 storybook, you need to at least one PowerPoint, WOLF. You need to, very explicitly let them know, okay, the theme for these 4 storybooks related to wolf, LF, WOLF, wolf. Okay, so everybody need to read aloud this wolf.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the theme, and you can start the lesson. I think that will be more clear. Otherwise, students may get lost. Why we need to talk about these 4 storybooks, but only for the beginning and then disappear. We move on to some others. Because you really want to point out wolf is the main theme. But just now, I don't think you really, in your worksheet or in your PowerPoint, you didn't really make it very clear. Okay? And of course, at the beginning, you can have some kind of raise their awareness. Now we are talking about wolf, especially for the final sound, wolf. And I'll ask everybody to try to read aloud this. And any problem with your pronunciation, very quick, 1 minute or 2 minutes for warm up. And but I like your justification why you choose this feature to work on, and then you warm up, and then you have a good listening activities, pre-listening, post-listening activities. But I just have a question, because this is the lesson plan you prepare for S1 students in mainland. So why do you choose Hong Kong 5 for this report, for the listening?
Because she makes the mistakes of substitution and omission. So we think it's
video in one recording.
Okay, so you mean in this recording specific recording, more errors, more
Yes.
different types of errors found
Yeah.
in Hong Kong 5. Okay, but I just wonder if your students in mainland, I'm not sure in which province you're gonna apply to, but would it be a good idea to use Hong Kong 5, or would they feel this accent is very strange to them? If, for example, I'm from Fujian, for example, and you play the Hong Kong accent, and I'm not sure if all this type could be also found in Fujian, Mingnan dialogue, or I'm not saying you cannot do it this way, but I just want you to reconsider when we really apply to the real classroom, we need to also think it further. I think this is your purpose because there are more error types. So it's good, but you should let them know, okay, this is the Hong Kong accent, okay, listen, there are different kind of, and I think that will be, otherwise they may feel that why you don't use the accent I'm more familiar with, or the accent around my, you know what I
In the
mean.
later stage, they have to detect their pronunciation with their peers, roommates. So I think they're familiar with their accent,
Yeah,
but this
yeah.
Hong Kongers, they are not familiar.
So I think perhaps you can
Yeah.
add, well, I mean, in this lesson plan, I think it's fine. I mean, in the real implementation, maybe you can tell the students, I'm from Hong Kong, or I got my degree from Hong Kong, I collect some Hong Kong sample and share with you. You see, for Hong Kongers, they usually have a problem like this. Do you have this? Can you compare yourself? I think they will be more close to relate teachers and students. Otherwise, it seems that why I have no idea why you provide either American accent, British accent. Why you give me one Hong Kong accent? So it seems a bit,
That's a good idea.
linked between student and teacher and the lesson. Okay, and then I like your test, teach, test, and dark L, light L, and then you show the video. I think video is the very good component, and the student feel fun and very visualize. You know how to pronounce all the sound. But I just have a feeling that I'm not sure if for S1 student can really understand the content. But in terms of this listening ability, is it the video is too fast or easy to understand? I'm not sure because it really depends on the level. According to your
So we have a table to check their understanding. So in the class we also can
So how
translate
much
the
information-
video.
So for the red one is the things you need ask them to fill out.
Yeah,
Am I right?
they need to fill in the blanks.
Yeah. Okay. So for example, like vowels or like consonant, I'm not sure if these words are too difficult for S1 student. I'm not sure. Or it is quite common.
Well, maybe they're not very familiar with these words, but we can.
Or you can provide it like an item
Yeah.
bank. Use that. You use the bank. You just put all the keywords on the bank and just just use the choose matching. Maybe it's easier.
Okay.
Otherwise, they need to watch the video, and then I think the native speakers use a very normal speed. But just because this is a normal speed, not a slower speed, I'm not sure if for S1 student, English as a foreign language context, I'm not sure if the student can really follow very well. They can understand and fill in the blank. I'm not sure if it's too difficult for S1 or S1. So you need to think about this. But I think it's a good idea to check the understanding and then show the videos, and then also you have the
Practice.
Practice. And I like your part, like you use the song. Originally, I think why you have the song in such a later stage. Usually we give the song at the beginning as a warm up.
Maybe this is the beginning of the lesson 2.
Yeah, okay, the one thing is this is the beginning of the lesson 2, and then actually you try to compare this wolf with that wolf with a different story. So I realized that this is a good idea. I think it's quite good to have this, and then you use the card, the envelope is scramble, reorder the sequence, and then retell the story. I think this is also very nice, Yeah, and compare these
the two stories.
Yeah, to me, I think it's still a bit difficult, but and you provide the answer. Maybe you can give more language support or some hint, or give some keywords or something. Maybe it will be easier.
Because we think that
The Boy Who Cried Wolf. We have explored the plot in the first with the picture. You can turn to the picture. The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the plot. And also in the sequencing, we have explored the plot of the Three Little Pigs. So maybe the plot is the difficult one. And the other elements that are not so detailed.
Yeah.
This is
So-
the story.
Yeah.
The plot of the story.
So we already scaffolded all this in the previous section.
Yes.
I really look, if possible, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this lesson implement to real classroom and how workable. I think it's quite fun and a lot of preparation and a lot of elements into this. And it's just very workable and especially I think it's good for S1, S2 to work on this.
Yeah, we are trying to combine some real life elements.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah,
otherwise, everything is very controlled. It's still, I think it's still in the we call it practice stage.
But we
Practice all
think
the
that
language.
this, the topic is short stories, but we don't know how to link it with.
Yeah,
real
I'm also
life.
thinking about how to. Yeah, because now you are talking about the whole thing is story, so it seems that a little bit difficult to really relate it to the.
We just design the retail. That's some kind of output.
Yeah,
Also-
but in terms of the retell the story, you don't really change the ending, right? So everybody will tell the similar story.
Yeah, maybe we can rewrite.
The final part, the ending, they can have different ending for either the little pig or the golden triangle. That will be different students, recordings will be a bit different. Otherwise, all are pretty similar. And compare contrast for the boy who cried. Then see the last part. After you do the comparison, retell your favorite story to your parents. I'm not sure if teenagers like to tell the story to parents, maybe to friends. For kids, maybe yes, for parents, but for teenagers, for secondary school.
We have come up with another idea that the students do the role play after class, and they can do the role play in the next class.
Right.
So this is their homework.
Yeah, if so, that would be the other group. They
Yeah.
use the transcript, you the narrator, Wolf, or use different play different parts of the story. I think if so, that would be you need one more writing task. Otherwise,
One
for
more task.
for writing the scripts. Otherwise, it's hard for them to transform from story type to the dialect. That's another. It's a bit different. For the story, I think it's better if only this kind of story. The issue is read aloud, or you can pair work and do the read aloud, do the video, do some video, or we have one we call it reader's theater. So that it's still reading aloud. It's read, but it's still you need to the script. You don't need to memorize all the script. You just use the reading. You can read, but then you play different parts. But you still need to read the script. But you still we call it reader theater. You can try and search the method. I think that's another way. Either you use the little pig or use the boy who cried wolf. That's another way to present. Not only reading aloud or role play. I think reader theater is another way. But for how to apply this to the real life. But I think basically, I think this is quite complete. It's good enough. So if you want to extra one or two lessons, that would be too long. It's quite a lot of practice. If you want to add something related to your real life, perhaps we can take out. Yes. Otherwise, it seems very. How many pages? How many activities? I think quite a lot. Because for the same things, if you have too many practice, I think students will feel more again.
I need to
Yeah.
first start from.
Because we have the screenshots and some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the answers, so it will take up to
Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right.